Hi, I'm Christina.
I'm Maya from
Bookworm
Bookworm Dreams, and welcome to a new video. So, after filming our wrap-up, we've noticed that the video is very long. So we decided to cut this into two parts. So welcome to part 2 of our October wrap-up. Here we will talk about paranormal romance, fantasy, and literary fiction, and romance as well. So yeah, check out the rest of our video, and that's it.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
Yep.
So next, my fantasy books. So these are the two books that I read for the Black SS Ephathon, and that is The Deep by Rivers Solomon and Pet by Akweke Emezi. Or Amazing, I apologize. I forgot to check again how to say the author's name. So basically, The Deep is a story about an underwater society that has came to be from the how do you say this? So basically, when white people came to Africa to get slaves,
isn't like
and then
the women who fell down from slave ships?
Fell down, thrown over, or jumped.
Yeah.
So basically, all the pregnant women and women in general who jumped from the ship when they were crossing the Atlantic Ocean, and basically when they gave birth into the sea, the children didn't die. They turned into this like version of mer people.
Okay.
And so there's an underwater society, and in this society there is a historian, and we follow our main character who is the historian of her people. And because she's the historian, she has sort of been alone most of the time because none of her people remember all the pain and atrocity that's happened to them. So she carries all this pain and history on her shoulders, and one day in a year she shares that with her people. And when she shares that, she's sort of free. So in this book, she at one point runs away, but then comes back because you learn about the importance of society and community, and but the story was all right. I wasn't as blown away by it as I saw a lot of people that I follow on Goodreads have been. So I don't know if it's the time when they read the book, because this book became very popular at the time when George Floyd murder happened. I mean, sorry, popular on BookTube, when everyone then started actively reading more books by authors of color and so on. And everybody was like, this is amazing and stuff. My main goal of this book was to listen to David Diggs read it, because this book was based on a song that he did with his rap group, The Clippings. And I know David from Hamilton, and I'm a big fan of his. And that was like my main attraction to this. So I understand the sort of the themes that the story has, but wasn't as blown away as everyone has been. And my second book, which I was blown away by, which is so good. I'm looking at it when we go to our Interliber thingy.
Okay.
Pet is so good. It is like so well written. I wasn't bored once. It was usually, there's always a point at one time that I'm like, oh dude, okay, whatever. But this was so good. So basically we follow, I forgot the girl's name. I cannot believe I forgot the girl's name.
Just the girl.
We follow a girl who lives, Jem. We follow Jem. Okay. In this book, we follow Jem. She lives in this utopia, in this town where all the racial problems are solved. Nothing is wrong with society. So everybody is great. And whenever somebody is bad, they're called monsters. So she lives with her parents, and her mother is a painter. And she paints this picture of this like goat thing with no eyes and like weird hands and stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
And when Jem goes to see the picture, she bleeds on it, and then the monster from the picture comes out into her world and names itself Pet. And its job is to find a monster in their town. And she's like, but there's no monster in our town. We live in this great society. Like, there is a monster in the House of Redemption, and Redemption is the name of her friend. So there's something happening in her friend's house. I knew exactly what was happening, like from the get-go, but that did not stop me from enjoying this book. It was so well written, because our monster is so, our pet is so focused on his monster hunt. Entire time we have to go hunt the monsters. The hunt must begin. We have to join the hunt. It was so focused, and Jem was the one who was like, no, well, okay, I understand what you have to do. Well, we have to consider other people's feelings. Like, we are going to my friend's house to accuse somebody of doing something horrible, and so on. It was so good. I enjoyed so much reading it, and I'm getting it. If I don't get it at Interliber, I'm buying it online. even though, you know, now with the Brexit and everything, and with the EU, it's so awful and expensive. I don't care. I'm getting it. It's so good. It's so good. So good. You
That's
have to read
awesome.
it. It's so
Okay,
good.
I will.
All right.
Okay, so I read Rule of Wolves by Lee Bardugo, which is the second book in the King of Scars duology.
Yeah, it's the Nikolai duology.
Isn't it the King of Scars?
No, it's called the Nikolai duology
Okay.
because it's about Nikolai.
Okay, I don't know anymore. Like everybody
I think
says
it's
something else. Well,
I
anyways,
think it's the Nikolai duology. We'll check and then write somewhere. So.
anyways, I love this. That's all I'm saying. Like I loved it.
You can't say anything, right?
I can't say
About the
anything because like it's like what, the 7th book in a series of books, and like basically we follow Nikolai, we follow Zoya, we follow Nina. Nina's being amazing again, and Zoya's being amazing, and Nikolai's being amazing. And I thought since like at least a year passed or more since I read King of Scars that I would be like, I don't even remember what happened
I don't
in
remember
King
either.
of Scars. And like
refresher.
like no.
Okay.
And and it's still like the moment I started reading, I was like, oh yeah, that's like I was immediately back in the world, and like you have like little snippets that like remind you of what happened, and
That's
like
good.
I absolutely loved it. I told Maya literally when I finished it, I just wanted to start like literally reading from like the first Grisha book and like reread everything again because it made me feel so happy.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
So yeah. So the second book I read is Chronebreaker by Sebastian de Castell, and I finally finished the Spellslinger series.
Is it over?
This is the final book. I like technically it's not over because you have 2 prequels about the Argosy.
Argosy, yeah.
But I finished the entire series. Like I don't know if I even need to tell you what it's about because I've been rambling about this for the past couple of months reading it. Basically, Kellen has no magic. And he has to like find his place in the world as the world books go on. He, you know, finds himself, finds his like confidence. He grows up. It's extremely funny. You literally laugh out loud. Like the side characters are really awesome. There is sometimes like some kind of romantic plotline happening, but it's very like basic.
In the background?
Yeah, it's completely like, it's more like to do like a very, I would say teenagery, you know, like because like it's very, you know, oh, he's like 16 and he sees this beautiful, wonderful, you know, like he's like and like it's like, you know, for like 2 sentences and then it's like back, oh wait, yeah, like we're doing stuff, like somebody's killing me, like I'm gonna deal with this first. So like yeah, and actually I really like the series, so I can't wait to start reading the Great Coats. So the adult novel by Sebastian de Castell and the Argosy ones, of course. So yeah, that's it for my fantasy.
All right, so let's talk about paranormal romance.
What?
There was a paranormal romance readathon happening at some point in October, and I participated. And for that, I read 4 things. So I'll talk about 2 right now because it's a series. It's the Wraith King series by Grace Draven. I read book 1 and 2. Actually, we read book 1 because I read book 1 back in August. So Radiance and Eidolon, whatever. Anyway, basically the first 2 books of the series. We follow Brisham and Ildiko. And Brisham is like, they're both of different races. So Ildiko is human and Brisham is like this lizard thingy. Night creature, like nocturnal creature thingy, and basically Ildiko and both of them are sparrows of their family, and they are thrust together in this relationship because, you know, their kingdoms need each other for something. And the first book is so awesome. It's like so good, like cozy and so.
It's the most healthy relationship I've ever read in a book.
Yes. There is so much communication. There is like. Just fondness and lots of head kissing, and I was like it was so good. And then the second book follows sort of a plot from the first one. At the end of book 1, Grisham's mother, she's like an evil witch thing, and she does something, and then just basically pokrene starts this whole plot with like demons from another world and wars and stuff, and that's what we deal with in the second book. The second book is much more angstier than the first one, because there is this whole thing of figuring out who will rule the world, rule the kingdom, and how Ildiko and Grisham fit into this, and does Ildiko fit with the people, and it's just it like ramped up the angst. I was really in the mood for it, so it was really fun for me. But yeah, it is different from the first one. But yeah, those were the two books that first two books that I read for that readathon, and they were really cool.
Okay, so I'll continue in the romantic tone. So I read It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This is the latest book by her, and everybody was kind of raving about it. It's sold as like inspired by Schitt's Creek. I don't know if
I didn't watch Schitt's Creek.
I didn't either, but like I know what
it is.
The
plot.
I
know what it is.
And basically this is kind of like the underlying plot is the same. So you have this fancy ass heiress, Instagram queen, like Paris Hilton type, she's famous for being famous.
All right, okay.
Like that kind of thing. And she does something really bad at one point. And she is sent off to a small town where her father used to live, because her father died at the sea as like a shipmaster or something like that. And
like a ship captain or like, was he in the Navy or was he
no, like he was a fisherman.
Oh, okay.
And this is a fishing town, and he had like a bar there, so it's in ruins, and she comes there with her sister Hannah, and she's all fancy, like always the hair is always like fixed, and she's always dressed up and everything, and there she obviously meets this broody, angsty fisherman. Oh my god, wait, what's his name? Her name is Piper and his name is Brendan.
Okay.
And he is like this big, muscly dude. I mean, like, fishermen in their prime, basically.
I'm picturing Mark Wahlberg from The Perfect Storm, so okay. Did you watch The Perfect Storm?
No.
Alright, well, you should check it out.
I imagine him more like, Aquaman.
Oh, that's even better.
That type of
Jason Momoa all the way.
That type of thing. Basically, and I really like this.
Right.
Like, I thought I would really dislike it because she was like at first this
annoying.
She was like this ditzy, like there was one point when she was like, oh my god, what is a tornado or some shit like that, and I was like, okay, you cannot be living on this earth and not know what a tornado is. Like, you had at least some kind of education, for God's sakes.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, it felt like...
Is she intentionally ditzy or actually ditzy?
So in the end, you see that there's like a lot more to her. There's like, she's not stupid. Right. Like, that is the only thing. I don't think it was a tornado. It was something else. It was some kind of storm. I can't remember now.
Hurricane?
Like,
well, tornadoes are on land and hurricanes.
Okay, then it's probably hurricane. There you go. Like, I didn't go to school apparently. But anyways, like, that was the only thing that was like, because she didn't understand what it was. It was just like that. Like that kind of was what? No, but that was the only thing. But you find out later that she, like, there was like a lot of deeper things going on with her. And like, I started to really like her and their relationship, and it was just like, nice. And I like that he was very upfront with her. He was like, yeah, I want you. Like, I don't want to be friends. Like, no, like, we're going out. Like, like there wasn't. Although I like, when it's angsty and are we or aren't we, but like I actually felt like this was really good because it had a lot of other elements. She met her grandma, she was finding out about her dad. There was like this really nice relationship with her sister that was also, and there was also a hint that her sister is the one who's getting the next books, and I'm really excited about that because I love the pairing of her sister and the other dude, and like I really can't wait. And it's coming out next year, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, I really liked it.
Okay, cool. Well, another paranormal romance that I read was Friends with the Monsters by Alvin Walker. So basically, in this one, we follow a girl whose name, of course, escapes me. She basically is, her entire life, she has been friends with monsters. Like every couple of days, some monster comes and visits her house. And like, there's like a Grim Reaper, and there's like this like little elven thing that's very evil, and so on. So basically, any kind of monster from the stories she's friends with, and basically she someone has been hurting her friends, and at the same time she gets visited by two different dudes. Like Grim Reaper is the third one, and one of them is like a shapeshifter of some sort, and the other one is like a berserker. If you know, in like Viking mythology, like berserkers are like the warriors that like go crazy and then kill shit, right?
Okay.
So this is gonna be mild spoilers, but you need to know this for the book. Basically, all the three of them are like, "You are our mate." All three of them. It's a reverse harem story, but yeah, and so all three of them not together, which is my biggest pet peeve with reverse harems. There's not ever like a group sex scene. Ever, except the Lady of Rook's Grave Manor. Now that's an awesome book. Everybody's reading it now and ready for the readathon as well. Yeah. But any other like reverse harem stories, like there's always like the main character pairings with the other characters, and yeah, it was fine. I mean, it was like okay, I'm like I've read this story a million times. And it wasn't as interesting as I thought it would be, but I was intrigued enough to try and look up what the sequel was. But well, I'm not sure when I'm going to get to it. But this was definitely something I read because of the amazing cover. The cover is so cool. Like
I have to.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So the second romance I read is Truth or Dare by Danielle Allen. 5 stars. 5 stars.
5 stars. Okay.
5 stars. It was brilliant. I loved it. It had everything I wanted. It was a trope that I hate, and I absolutely loved the book.
What was the trope?
Friends to lovers.
Oh god, I don't like those.
I don't like those. But this book...
Were they dared to kiss and something, and then stuff happened, or...?
So basically, you have a group of friends. They have been friends forever, like college, stuff like that. And now they're in their 30s, and they're coming together for the wedding of their 2 friends.
Okay.
From the friend group. Right. And basically there have always been some kind of relationships or, like kisses or sex or something between the friends, but they've all stayed. That hasn't spoiled the group.
Okay.
And then we have Kingston and Simone, who have been like best friends. Like they completely got each other, and Truth or Dare is like kind of their group game.
Okay.
That they do, And I don't know if it was the bride or the groom wanted to play Truth or Dare, and yes, they had to kiss. But the thing is, you already before that you have like some scenes where they haven't seen each other for a while, and when they see each other, it's like, oh, well, you've grown,
okay.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like even before that, you can see that they're kind of rethinking, like, like, what did I miss before?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that, and basically, throughout these 3 days, because they're in some kind of resort where there's the wedding. They have like this little scenes of them, like being attracted to each other and kind of just bantering and stuff. So it was really good. It just, I don't know, I loved it, and the smut scenes were just awesome.
Okay.
There was like the big, third act thingy problem.
Okay.
But it wasn't between the two of them. It was like a third party that created the problem.
Okay.
And it wasn't between them. It was more like them against one of the friends in the group. So like there was no miscommunication or anything, but like it had like the additional element of a bit of drama and things. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. It was so good. It has like 168 pages, and it flew by. I absolutely enjoyed it. Like I read it in one sitting. So like
that's great. The last book I read. It's actually a short story. It has like 50 pages, even if that. So it's called Feed by Aveda Weiss, and basically this is a monster romance. we follow a succubus who hooks up with a type of fairy that's like death worshipping something. I don't know.
Okay.
Basically, our main character doesn't really reveal to like people around her and her work that she is a succubus, because that brings bad connotations. And she uses this app to find someone that she can have sex with and she can feed, because succubuses feed when they have sex with people, or not, but whatever, they feed on people and stuff. So throughout the app, she basically gets a date, and when that person shows up at her door, it's the dude from her work that she is greatly annoyed by. So it's like a hate to lust thing, and basically they have sex, and it's there's lots of trigger warning for stuff if you're not into like monster stuff, because if you've read or watched any hentai, you know like what I'm talking about. So there's also breath play and some blood sucking, and there's like so many things in this story. But it was such a fun read. I in my sporadic reading through the month, I read it, and it was really, really a fun thing. And I gave it 4 stars because I felt really bad giving 5 stars to a smutty 50-page story.
Why?
It was so good. It was actually it was so great.
You should have given it 5 stars if you liked it that much.
And I was like, but this is like a sort of prequel story to the whole length novel, I guess, which comes out at the end of the year.
So we know what Maya is reading next.
yes. So yeah, that was the last thing I read. And you know, throughout the month I've been starting and dropping books like flies. But what can you do? It was a weird month, yeah. And last book you read was
Winesburg, Ohio by Sherwood Anderson. I actually finished the book, so Maya already talked about this. This was our group book. It's basically a collection of stories, basically snippets of life of this small town and its residents, and they're all kind of connected through this one character of a journalist. And, you know, as Maya said, it felt like required reading in high school that you had to do, and I can see
hate those because they have like this hidden meaning that you're supposed to get from the books and you don't.
I mean, maybe it's just, you know, neither of us do actually like literary fiction that much. So maybe that's why we just don't get too much out of those types of books. I mean, I can see why at the time when it was written, it could have been, you know, like something.
Yes, it could have made a splash because you know, people at that time did not talk about like their depression and fears and stuff. Everything's like sort of rosy and everything's great.
And this was like really just slices of life and like true stuff. Although one thing I'll say is what I noticed was, maybe it is a reflection of the time, all the female characters are so negatively portrayed. Like, it was crazy. Like, even when the female character was like the main character of the story, it was always something negative. Like, she was either crazy or like something like that, and I hated that. It was just like, why with all the hate towards women? Like, so yeah. And you know, like the woman is like the temptress to a holy man.
I'm sorry, that dude only saw her like shoulder and clavicle and then had a fucking crisis of faith. Like, how strong is your faith that if you saw a fucking female shoulder that you get like all whoa.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I hated that part.
I know. So basically, like, it's not like I wouldn't recommend it just because I don't like that type of books.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically
it. Lord, we talked for a long time.
Yeah.
If you managed to survive till the end, good for you.
So that's it for the second part of our wrap up. Thank you so much for, you know, sticking with us with the 2 parts. We felt like they were too long together. So yes, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below if you have any comments, you know, like about the things we read. Do you like them? Have you read them? Do you have any recommendations for us? You know the drill right now.
Right. Did you say like, share, subscribe? I wasn't listening.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
She wasn't listening. Very important links.
Yeah, there are important links in the description box down below. Please do check them out. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.